Hello everyone, it's Takasubita2 here, and for today. So one of my favorite highlights when it comes to the Nintendo Direct is obviously the big reveals from Mario and Luigi Brothership, along with Metroid Prime 4 finally being a thing. But there was something that I've been kind of wanted to talk about for at least a few days now, and that was mostly one of the few announcements that generally caught me off guard, but not in a good way, because it makes me question as to why they even bothered even adding new content to it. And if you saw the title, I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Nintendo Switch Sports, a game that released back in April of 2022 and was thought to be a return to the Wii Sports franchise, only for it to be a game that was shallow, doesn't add any new content, and was stuck with the live service standpoint, which has been a standard for a lot of games for like the past 7 to 6 years, which does get a little tiring after a while. And if you remember the last time I talked about Switch Sports, that was like last year, around 8 months ago. This video right here, that was the last time I ever talked about it. And since then, I haven't talked about Switch Sports since. Nobody has talked about this game at all. Nintendo decided to bring this back with a highlight and spotlight in the Direct by introducing basketball, a new sport that will be added, which, by the way, the last one we had was golf back in November of 2022. And you know what? I just really need to ask this. Does this sport really matter? Or more so, why is Nintendo Switch Sports getting a new sport 2 years ever since the game came out, and especially 2 years since the last sport? Like I stated, golf came out in winter of 2022, being November. It was meant to release in the fall of that year, only for it to be delayed for some reason, and there's generally no reason as to why it got delayed to begin with. And when it comes to Switch Sports, I generally have no idea as to why they wanted to add a new sport, which is weird because before the game came out, there was a leak that stated that there were 2 sports alongside that was coming, being both basketball and dodgeball. Basketball finally being added, but that was 2 years ever since that leak happened. So it just really makes me wonder as to why Nintendo even bothered adding any new content, especially since they sort of stopped doing that last year. You see, ever since the game came out, there was also these in-game collections that you get from like playing online, and once you complete it, you'll pretty much get an outfit from it. And what I genuinely don't get about it is that the last thing they did was back in February of 2023, which was almost 1 year after the game came out, and this was the final collection item that they decided to do before basically rotating it for like the past year now. They've been repeating the same collections from outfits and cosmetics and whatnot for a while now. So them added a new sport basically out of nowhere, and we're pretty much 1 year after the game has pretty much been dead and no one's been talking about it. It just doesn't make sense to me. What's even funnier is that basketball isn't really a new sport to the Wii franchise, because that actually was a thing back in Wii Sports Resort. And when you think of Wii Sports Resort, you would think of 12 unique sports that are actually pretty well done and are actually worth playing rather than Switch Sports itself. Honestly, Nintendo, I love you and all, and you're a pretty great company every now and then, but I really don't know what's the point of you adding a new sport when the game that you're putting is one that rarely anybody is talking about nowadays. This is mostly just my quick thoughts talking about basketball being added into this game, because, I mean, if we had to wait almost 2 years, I mean, even over 2 years for, like, a new sport, then are we gonna wait for dodgeball to happen in, like, 2025 and something, and then that was, like, the last thing we'll see from the game? Or maybe in 2026 they'll be adding another sport? It's like they don't really know how to add anything at all. It's like the game was already doomed from the moment the developers were having a struggle making this. But I really want to know your thoughts and opinions down below regarding about this strange decision. What do y'all think about basketball being added into Nintendo Switch Sports? Is it really that worth it? And do you really think adding basketball can actually save Switch Sports? The answer is obviously no, but I kind of want to know your opinions down below. Well, so with that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos, follow my Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember this, once a legend, always a legend.